Hello. We studied about high-rise structures in the previous module. So now we are going to one by one study each and every element that is required except the basic structural system. What are the other elements of are the part of the structure and what are the process of construction for each and every element. So first let us start with the foundations. So majorly preferred foundations these days are the deep foundation for such kind of structures. So if we see deep foundations, these are the ones in which the depth of the foundation is very large as compared to its width. Okay, so these type of foundations are provided where the bearing capacity of the soil is low or negligible, or the loads of the building is much more. Then the deep foundations are not constructed by ordinary methods or open pit excavations. We know the basic difference between the shallow foundations and deep foundations. Let me first share with you all the images which will help us to understand more regarding to this. So for today we are majorly focusing on the deep foundations, the pile foundations and their types. Okay.
So, foundations are majorly classified into two types, shallow foundations and deep foundation. So, according to the application of the foundations and the type of foundation, we have tried to study the shallow foundations before. So, now this time we are focusing more on the deep foundations, where the ratio of the height of the pile and the width of its base is less as compared to the height of the pile or depth of the pile. So the deep foundations are majorly classified into three types: the pile foundations, piers and cajon foundations. So we are focusing on pile foundations right now. The two major types, if we try to classify the pile foundations, majorly they are classified according to their function and according to their material by which they are formed. So if we try to study where are the pile foundations applied. So majorly when the top layer of the soil has very low bearing capacity, there is a need of pile foundations. The top layer has uneven type of settlement in the overall site area. That time also the pile foundations are used. The fluctuation of subsoil water is more. That time the pile foundations give a sturdy kind of a secondary base for the superstructure. So if the structure is lying near water body, that time also pile foundations are useful. When the top layer of the soil is expansive type, right, if the season, according to the seasons or according to the time, if the soil is expanding or contracting, that time also the pile foundations are very useful. So let us see the further classification of pile foundation. So majorly when we see according to the function, there are these various types like end bearing piles, friction piles, compaction piles. So these piles we are trying to study in the upcoming modules. Today we are majorly focusing on the classification that is based on the material by which these piles are made. So if we see the classification according to material, we have concrete piles, we have timber piles, steel piles and composite piles. So in concrete piles, we have two major classifications again, the precast concrete piles and cast on site concrete piles. If you see in this diagram, the basic type of a precast concrete pile is shown. These precast concrete piles are cast in the factory and brought on site. These are of a reinforced concrete material. Then they can be molded in various shapes like shown in the diagram. They can be square, they can be round or circular and octagonal piles. Or they can be cast and cured in casting yard and then they can be transferred to the site or they can be driven to the site, okay, for driving purpose further to the soil or substructure. They are driven similarly to the timber piles with the help of pile drivers. So majorly these precast concrete, the major and basic advantage of these are they have a specific quality control. because they are constructed on in the factory beforehand, there is a specification to it which gives a accuracy in the material and the construction of it. But let us see the positioning of the prefabricated concrete pile or precast concrete pile. So first is the placement of the pile. In the diagram you see the pile is first placed in its place. Then the installation happens using the hammer kind of a thing, which allows the pile to go down to the given area towards majorly we all know that pile foundations are used for letting the base reach the foundation base to reach to the hardest strata that is available, because we saw the conditions that were there in the pile foundations. So due to those reasons, the pile needs to reach till the hardest strata. Okay, so once the placement of pile is done, it is then taken to the bottom part where the hardest strata is reached. So there again repetition process of the same happens. If we have the height of the pile or the length of the pile is less, then there is another pile bought and placed on top of the previous pile and they are anchored together. Okay, if you try to understand the scale of a pile, you see a human being standing here, and this machine is trying to allow that positioning of the pile to be placed in its provided or designed position. Okay, so if we see in the precast concrete piles, so there are driven precast concrete piles and bored precast concrete piles. Now driven and bored, let us try to understand the basic difference. Driven is these are the precast in a construction yard, and then they are hammered into the soft ground, as I said, in this process. So at most of they can go up to 40 feet deep as well. So if we see the bored piles, after they are made in the construction yard, they are transferred to the target location, and the location already has bore holes. Okay, so here the pile is being hammered down, and in the bored type of precast concrete pile, there is already a hole made. Okay, the bore holes are made, and into that these piles go down. Okay, any space remaining between the bore hole and the pile is again grouted to seal it. Okay, so the positioning of the prefabricated pile is shown here. So these pile provides the protection to the pile and the head during driving. Okay, so as said by Michelle Tomlinson and John Woodward, who is the author of Pile Design and Construction Practice, the precast concrete piles have their principal use in a marine structure. That is, the situation where the use of cast in situ concrete piles or pre-stressed concrete piles is very difficult, okay, or uneconomical. So they are majorly used in such kind of area. So also these precast concrete piles are very suitable for places where the timber piles are likely to be weakened because of the termites or the insects that are available in that soil. So let us try and understand the advantages and disadvantages of precast concrete. As I mentioned, they give a better quality control, they have more accuracy in the possibility of construction, then they are quick for installation, and if we compare the overall cost at the end of the construction, it is comparatively economical. So let us see the disadvantages. Because these piles are so heavy, the transportation is a big challenge. So they need a specific equipment, specific transportation for these kind of piles. So these equipments, if we have to embed them, they also require very heavy kind of machinery. The pile lengths have a restriction for transportation again. The accuracy in design is needed. No alterations can be done on site. Like we saw on the other, if we will see further the other type of piles, because we are casting it on site, we have this advantage, but in precast that advantage is not there. So definitely and the last one disadvantage is the driving of these piles creates a lot of noise pollution in the area. You must have heard while boring is happening, that time we get such uncomfortable kind of noise pollution. Similarly, while casting while doing this precast concrete installation, piles installation, the same thing happens. So further, let us see the second type, the cast in situ concrete piles. The concrete piles which are cast on site are these ones. So in these we have two basic types, driven and bored. Let us see the driven ones. Okay, in driven piles we have majorly cased and uncased piles. Okay, so in the cast on site piles, the shell is basically driven into the contact with the surrounding soil, and it remains in place to maintain the driving resistance as well as to protect the concrete filling during the placing of other adjacent piles. So it is basically the shell is protecting the existing the pile that is been cast from the upcoming other piles. So following are the common types of these cast in situ piles. We have Raymond piles, MacArthur piles, Union metal monotube piles, Swage piles, Western button bottom piles. So we will try to see one of those in detail. We have Swage pile. So what happens in this pile? It is formed by forcing a light steel casing using some specific diameter like 280 mm, and it is in thickness it is 12 mm. Okay, so such kind of casing you see here. Y is the casing and X is the core. So core is overall and Y is the depth that we are going to keep. So first the core and casing driven up to the required depth. Then in the second stage the core is withdrawn. Okay, the core which was there is withdrawn and the concrete is laid up to some height. So this till this height you see the concrete is laid. Then the core is again reintroduced and placed on top of the concrete. Then the pressure is applied on this part. So because of that what happens? The concrete pedestal is getting formed because this concrete is further moving and finding its way out. So it is creating a concrete pedestal which is going to act as a firm kind of a thing. Okay. So further at the end the casing and core both are withdrawn and the concrete is again placed or laid for the pipe. Okay. So this is the overall concrete surface which makes it a monolith element. Okay. So overall the in this one the pile is driven using a ram bearing on the plug inside the pipe. Okay, that also helps to pull the savaged pipe with the concrete plug. So what follows at the end is the removal of the ram and the casing is filled with concrete. The piles are very advantageous in extremely hard driving conditions where the driving is pretty hard. That time these are preferred. Okay, so further when the next basic classification we saw is the cased and uncased. So we saw the example of a cased one. Now let us go to the uncased cast on site concrete piles. So in these types the piles do not use casing and hence they are much cheaper. However, the great skills are required for installation of or construction of these. Okay, the piles are used only where it is certain that neither soil nor water will fall in the hole or squeeze into that and reduce the size of the hole. So also where the adjacent pile will not damage the green concrete. It is essential to have a close installation inspection while performing the construction of this kind of concrete piles. So let us see one of the example of uncased cast in situ piles. So the first one is a simplex concrete pile. In this one we can see the pile is formed by driving a casing. Okay, there is this casing with a heavy detachable conical point. So this conical point is an important member which defines this kind of a pile. So the shaft is first filled with concrete and the casing is withdrawn. This casing is withdrawn. The tempered simplex piles are similar to the standard type except that the casing is struck with the hammer. Okay, so at the intervals or it is withdrawn by using vibrating or tamping the concrete for its full length. So this is the basic working of this kind of a pile foundation. Then further as we saw the driven piles, we have bored piles as well. In the bored piles what happens is basically there is this driving case. Okay, so these types of pile foundations are formed by excavating a hole first. Okay, this kind of hole is first formed by giving a case then into the ground and then filling it with concrete. So before doing that, we need the steel reinforcement is to be placed. Okay, so the board piles are usually primarily in cohesion with the subsoil of the formation of friction piles, and when the forming pile foundations close the existing building. So that time these are specifically used. They are popular in urban areas, okay, as there is minimal vibration, where the headroom is limited, where there is no risk of heavy heave, and if there is a need to vary the length of the piles. Okay, if that is required, these are very easy to be cast. So as we see the process here, the first this hole is drilled, and into that the rebar cage is being installed, then concrete is being placed, and with the casing is withdrawn at the end. Okay, so these piles of any size or length can be constructed at the site, that is the plus point of this board piles. The damage due to the driving and handling that is common in precast piles is eliminated in this case. So these piles are ideally suitable for places where vibrations of many types are required to be avoided to preserve the safety of the adjoining structures as well. So they are majorly suitable in soils of poor drainage qualities, since cast in situ piles do not significantly disturb the surrounding soil. So that is the major advantage of it. So there are also under rim piles. The under rim pile foundation is a major answer to an area where the black cotton soil could cause structural instability. Many times soils undergo volumetric changes, as I mentioned the last point when we were discussing about where the pile foundations are applied, the instability of soil, okay, when there is expansive soil, etc., because of the moisture variation. So that time these piles are much more preferred. So this expansion or shrinkage can cause distress which is very dangerous and critical for the structure. So the fact is the under rim piles are considered as the safest and economical foundation for such black cotton soils or expansive soils. Then we have timber piles. Because we are seeing the material types till now, we have seen the precast, we have seen cast inside piles. Now let us see the timber piles. Timber piles it's kind of a trunk of a tree and trimmed of branches. Okay, the timber pile is usually designed for maximum load of 15 to 25 tons per pile. So additional strength can be obtained by bolting fish plates to its sides. Okay, then these piles last for over 30 years. They have been seen used in historical buildings, etc. These piles can be used as a foundation for structures with moderate load and as a foundation for temporary structures. So the cost per running length of these piles is very low as compared to the previous ones. Hence, these piles are economical. Then, timber being a resilient material, timber piles are suitable for impact absorption. Right, whatever impact is coming, it is being absorbed. Then timber piles are easy to install, and if necessary it is easy to uninstall as well a timber pile. But if we talk about the disadvantages of these, the timber piles have a small bearing capacity. Untreated timber piles above groundwater may last more than 25 years. But if we see, not permanently. Okay, so timber piles they are also prone to damages by hard driving. Then while driving process they can damage. The timber piles cannot be driven through hard stratum or boulders. That is a major negative point we can talk about it, or the lacking point. Then piles of longer length may not always be available in case of timber piles. So further next type is the steel type of piles. Okay, the steel piles are available in these various shapes or cross sections: the H piles, box piles, and tube piles. So the H piles are the usually wide. They have usually a wide flange section. Okay, the flange is pretty wide, and they are suitable for terrestrial type of structure in which the pile is extended above the ground and used as a column of the structure. Okay, so they have small cross sectional area there, therefore they can be easily driven in the soil. It is used as long pile with high bearing capacity. Then when we see the box piles, they are rectangular or octagonal in shape. So they are and inside they are filled with concrete. So these are used when it is not possible to use the H type of piles for the Haas strata. Okay. Then there are tube piles. The tube piles of steel are driven into the ground. The concrete is again filled into the tubes. Because of circular cross section area, they are easy to handle and easy to drive in. Okay, so these are the basic types of pile foundations based on material.